Yo, what's going on, guys? Boy Ooze back again once again. Oh, he's actually gonna let me finish. It's probably because there's no new cards of him. We got some new Godzilla cards to go over in this week's video. Some green, a lot more blues this time around. So I guess they are, I mean, they're not really listening, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, well, a lot of people were afraid that there's not enough blues in this set, but looks like we are getting a couple more blues on the Biollante side of things. And we do have a couple new red cards as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so first things first, we got some green battle cards and a new strategy card from this reveal. And as always, big shout outs to Tuscan Cal, big shout outs to Zergil, and big shout outs to everyone in the unofficial Godzilla Discord. You guys can find a link to that in the description. Again, if you're interested in this game and you really want to learn more, just be around other like-minded folks that are really nice, patient, and are trying to just help spread the good word and love of this game, you definitely want to be a part of that Discord. And also feel free to join mine as well, because you know we're doing Godzilla stuff in there and a bunch of other things in relation to other video games and other things that I like as well. So a big shout out to, like I said, Zergil and Tuscan, because they've been initially giving the translations, and then I just come in with the revised versions that would better reflect how the text will probably look in the English version. So with all the good thanks aside, let's get right into these cards. So first up, we have Godzillasaurus. Okay, this is a card that I was not expecting to see, not gonna lie, but then again, there's a lot of content to go around as far as like source material wise, going back to all the old and Godzilla movies and whatnot. So yeah, here we go. We got Godzillasaurus with the new green icon that reads Hakai when destroyed, right? So when you discard one card from your hand, you may return one Godzilla 1991 battle card from your discard pile to your hand. This is effective when this card is destroyed by another card's effect or a monster card's movement. So they just wanted to emphasize that is in the parentheses there. So yeah, pretty solid card. This is another I want to say recycle type of a card where you get to reuse cards that were thrown away. In this case, it's specifically targeting the Godzilla 1991 battle card. So for those that are maybe trying to build something around that, then you have that option. Next up, we have Dorat, a rank 2 battle card with 1,000 counter power. Also with the same new green icon that says destroyed. So you may return one monster card from your discard pile to your hand that contains King Ghidorah. So again, effective when this card is destroyed by another card's effect or monster card's movement. So we are basically seeing new cards that are more usable, I guess you could say, where a lot of times you'll have a battle card and then it'll get trampled by your own monsters, invasions, or advancements, and that's it. Like you'll get nothing out of it. In this time around, set 2 is introducing cards that's actually giving players a lot more versatility, a lot more options with the gameplay and more utilization in order to really get the deck flowing right and synergizing really well. So with Dorat, I really do like how it just adds to the King Ghidorah support, and it targets any King Ghidorah. Okay, it's not like how with Godzillasaurus, it's specifically to the Godzilla 1991 battle card. This is literally targeting a King Ghidorah of any type as long as it has the King Ghidorah trait in its name. So I feel like just off of that, that's already a little stronger than Godzillasaurus if you ask me, even though it is weaker in counter power, right? And so last on this page, we have the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah rank 4 strategy card. Now, I'm loving how they're introducing a lot more cards this time around that are providing players with options. So with options means that you have a lot of your bases covered depending on the situation and where the match is going and who you're playing against. So in this particular situation, when it comes down to Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, no, this is not no Mori, okay? So anyway, destroy 3 of your opponent's level 4 lower battle cards. That's the first one. You can either do that or Awakening. At Awakening 6, you can destroy 2 of your opponent's level 6 or lower battle cards. And then Awakening 8, destroy 1 of your opponent's battle cards. So I can understand why you would... I mean, they would give us an Awakening 8 and only destroy 1 of your opponent's battle cards, because you're probably asking, like, well, Uchi, like, why would I want to do that when I could literally destroy 2, you know, more than 1? Obviously, like, you know, it's better than 1, right? Why would I pick that one when these other options are giving me 3 of your opponent's cards, 2 of your opponent's cards? And that's just that. It's simple as this. The fact that the other 2 are specifying that they have to be level 4 or lower or level 6 or lower. The fact that the Awakening 8 side of things is letting you choose any single one, right? And for you to just be... So that card essentially acts as similarly to Final Showdown, to Heat Ray, cards that pop, you know, battle cards from your opponent's side. I like using Final Showdown for this example more, because Final Showdown is a straight up cost 8 strategy card. So you could play it earlier if you yourself, your monster card advances. For every step you advance, you get to play it for that much less. So if you advance twice, you get to play it for 6 cost, meaning like your opponent would have to be at 6 or higher, so on and so forth. So in this situation, this card costs 4. However, you do still at least need to be in your final zone, in zone 8, to get that effect to trigger, and thus that could literally be a game-winning situation. So I could see a lot of green decks, no matter if it's a King Ghidorah related deck or a Space Godzilla deck. You can actually run this, I would say, in a lot of those builds, especially for, you know, green being very new. And again, it's very versatile. You get all your options depending on how far along in the match that you are. And that could actually be a game winner too. So that's one to look out for. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, rank 4. Up next, we got some new blue battle cards along with a token. So for the first card here on the left, we have a Biollante Flower Beast form rank 4 battle card with 3000 counter power. And it's very simple. Its only thing is that it has an Evolve 7, an Evolution 7, and it has to be another Biollante card as well. The parentheses is literally just emphasizing that on how evolution works. And for those that don't know, you might be new, welcome in. Evolution, as soon as the start of your turn begins. So like once you draw, then right then and there, you would evolve from your deck. The cards don't they can't be in your hand. They have to actually be evolving from your deck. That's how the game works. Unfortunately, they weren't the greatest when it came down to, I guess, the ruling translations in that respect, but we had to, you know, figure that out for ourselves for the most part. So here we go. That is the rank 4 Biollante battle card with Evolution 7. So it's a toss up right here. It's a layup for this next one. Biollante Plant Beast form rank 7, which has 5000 counter power. So it has 2 effects, and they're both enter abilities. So let's read them both. So enter number 1. If you have 2 or more Biollante cards in your discard pile, your opponent shuffles their discard pile into their deck. I just want to first, before I forget my train of thought, that effect completely nullifies Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. It's a white staple. It's a staple. That card belongs in every freaking deck. Don't even at me. That card is so good, so important, that I feel like if you're not running that card, you are causing your own detriment. You know what I'm saying? That card is so good. It's so strong. And when it invades, or when your monster card invades, you have the option of then like taking away all of your opponent's rage, you know, if they have a lot, because that could also be, you know, game changing. So if you're shuffling their entire discard pile back into their deck, that means all those monster cards that they're literally trying to have prepped up in there so that you can actually play that card, because you need 8 or more. Yeah, no, that's not happening here. This card, that first enter, is literally saying, nope, you get to have a replenished deck. You're welcome, right? So the next one is enter, place 2 tentacle token cards in zones adjacent to this. So I should also mention that this is actually a really strong card. You could tell already, and I keep reiterating this in every video, but when you see a card with 2-step, that's how you know it's super strong, and it has a lot of capability and versatility, utilization, all that kind of stuff. And you know, its enter abilities, they both happen. It's not one or the other. You don't choose one. It's not like the previous strategy card that we read from the green where it said choose one of the following. You're literally getting both. Okay, so the first thing is you're shuffling your opponent's discard pile back into their deck, and then you're also playing 2 tentacles. Okay, another tee up. The last card on this page right here, Tentacle token card, rank 2 with 3,000 counter power. So the only thing that this provides is just, you know, this cannot enter your deck. Move it to an outside area when it is removed. So for those that might not know, the token cards are brand new types of cards that are being introduced in this game. But also keep in mind that token cards, this is a little fun fact, I guess. Token cards, even though they are different, and you almost treat them like rage cards in the respect that you don't even put rage cards in your actual main deck, just like the monster deck is those 4 monster cards that you have separate away from everything. This is now another pile. So I don't know if we're ever gonna get like an updated mat where they'll have a zone for tokens, but like, you know, tokens are just, they could literally, they could be anywhere pretty much. I was about to say they could be anything, but that's not true because they're all very specific. They all have different like types of counter power as well. But in the case of this, they don't go back into your deck at all, but they are treated as battle cards. Keep that in mind. Okay, token cards being, even though they're different, they are gray, but still, they're battle cards. You can even look, if you look closer. Oh, actually, you can't even see it. I'm gonna move myself. I'm gonna break the illusion here. I'm gonna put myself in the center here for a second. When you look at both of the icons right in front of you, so if you look in the top right corner of this, the 7 cost Biollante, and the top right corner of, oh yeah, you can see my mouse right here. So you look right here, boom. You see these icons? This is the battle card icon. They're the same. They're the same. So you already know. There's no if, ands, or buts. That's just how it goes. Okay? Token cards are battle cards. Just like how I recently learned officially, because I am always learning something in this game, that invading is advancing, but advancing is not invading. Keep that in mind. So up next on our second page of blue cards, we have some new monster cards, and this is for the Biollante fans. Okay, so if you're a fan of Biollante, this ugly ass creature, then you're in luck, because we're gonna go over a bunch of Biollante cards right here. So check it out. Biollante Flower Beast form, rank 1. This has 6,000 counter power. That's actually pretty good, and it has an effect. At the beginning of the game, this starts in Area 5. Zone 5. This cannot move forward or invade. This is the first of a few in this line of the next set of Godzilla cards, where we have brick walls. We have a new type of brick wall, the type that don't move, period. Okay? Now you're probably wondering, well, how the hell is that gonna work? Well, I think we might be able to paint ourselves a better picture when we read some of the other effects of the following cards. So the rank 2, we have a Biollante Flower Beast form with 11,000 counter power. This also reads, this cannot move forward or invade. And on its enter, you place 1 tentacle token card in a zone adjacent to this. So interestingly enough, with seeing how the first card works, if we're starting in 5, that means, and if we can't move, right, it can't move forward or invade, but it doesn't mean you can't move back. So I'm wondering, and I'm sure there is a card out there that has some sort of move your monster card back 1 zone. That's probably the only way you'll be able to do that, which would actually hurt the blue Biollante decks, only because you have to be in that specific zone to play your own strategy cards. So meaning that if you have a 5-cost strategy card, you actually need to be in zones 5 or higher to play it. Kind of like how you can only play battle cards based on where your opponent's monster cards at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys get that idea. So when you get countered, right? Because you're not getting repelled. Repelling and counter is the same thing, but I just like to differentiate the two. When you're in zones 1 to 5, I say you get countered. When you're in 6 to 8, you're getting repelled because you're literally getting pushed back, right? So when you're getting countered, on the enter ability of this rank 2, it says you play a Tentacle, which is, it's a Tentacle token card. So I don't think that this is in particular to. I'm trying to look ahead here. Yeah, I don't think it's in particular to any specific type of token. It actually targets the token that we just went over in the last page. It's just called Tentacle Token, the 2000 counter power token card. Okay, and then so on this page right here, we do have the rank 3 monster card. This is the Biollante Plant Beast form that has 22,000 counter power, and its enter ability reads, if you have a strategy card in play, choose one of your opponent's zones. All battle cards in the selected zone and zones adjacent to it that are level 5 or lower are destroyed. So, pretty strong deck considering that you're not moving. So, if this deck is removing a win condition, I'm very curious as to how it will really play out. Because the first thought that I have with how to play something like this would literally be, I guess your game plan is just to out counter them, right? It's just to go for the 4 repels over and over and over. And that could be an indication as to maybe why their threat levels are as high as they are, with being that they do have their effects. Because I'm thinking off the top of my head, as a red player, primarily, right? There is the Godzilla, I think it's a 2023 rank 1 monster card that has no effects at all, that has 6,000. But then when you look at all the other ones that are rank 1, they're like 5,000 or 4,000, but they have effects. So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that's like the trade-off. If you have an effect, then your threat level goes down to just have some sort of a counterbalance. You know what I'm saying? But here, these guys, like the rank 1 is 6K. That has a 6K right off the bat, and it starts in zone 5. So, to me, so far, it looks like, and it seems like, this Biollante blue deck potentially is all about staying as still as possible, but also, like you're only going for repels and counters. And I'm wondering, like, I feel like because they're so strong now that I think about it again, because they can't move. They're not supposed to move. However, I just realized that once we get to rank 3 on the Plant Beast form, this is where it starts to actually move. So the first 2 ranks, they don't move at all. And I don't think they can be moved, just based on what the text says. So those 2 cards are so strong, they literally completely nullify cards like Godzilla Landing, where it advances your opponent's monster by 1 zone, or any other types of effects similar to that move these monster cards in this situation. But once we get to that 3rd monster, rank 3, this Plant Beast form, that's where you can actually start making some invasions and advancing. Pretty interesting, not gonna lie. So we have 2 of the new rank 4 Biollante monster cards. Okay, so this first one, it's a 2-step with 32,000 threat level. So let's see what it says. So enter, you play all level 4 and lower evolution battle cards from your discard pile in zones adjacent to this. Maximum 3 cards, which I don't understand why they would put that, being that based on how the game works, you wouldn't even be able to play anything past 3 if it's specifically locked to being adjacent to it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's odd that they would even put that in there, because let's say, just for the sake of this effect to try to break it down, to make it a little easier for you guys to understand. Let's say that you're in zone 4, okay? That means that the adjacent zones to you would be zones 3, zones 5, and zone 7, because those are all adjacent, right? You get like the upside down T, okay? So like, well, I mean, I guess you could be technical and be like, okay, well, next to would be diagonal too, right? But I don't think anyone's really challenged that. As far as I'm concerned, that'd be the first time if I actually heard that. But I'm pretty sure that that's not considered next to anyway. That's diagonal to, you know, because next to is like, boom, you're next to. Like, I don't know. Semantics. I'm not here for semantics. Let's just keep going, okay? So that's what that one does. So the other rank 4 is the Biollante Plant Beast right here. It goes, opponents on your opponent's turn, at the beginning of their counter phase, multiply the counter power of any battle cards in the same column as this by 2. Well, that's you might ask yourself, why would I play this? Look at its counter power. Look at its threat level. It's 55,000 off rip. Okay? So the balance to that, yeah, I guess it makes sense. They're literally helping their opponent so that they can essentially get countered, but you know, yeah, that's like, to me, that's very risky. When it comes to these 4 cost cards, I would if it was me, I'd probably go with the first one on the left, because like I wouldn't have to worry about all this. Even though like being at 55 is pretty strong, if let's say I'm trying to oppose that, if I have someone in that same column as it specifies, dude, it's gonna get its counter power is gonna get multiplied by 2. That's dangerous. Like like what? Like what if I had a Godzilla against Mechagodzilla? Now it's a 20k. Imagine if I had King Ghidorah with gravity beam. It's already gonna get 20,000 on top of its 8. Multiply that by 2, bro. 56. That alone would win the game. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know about that one. I'm just putting it out there. If you guys can come up with a really good strategy to make that one work specifically, of course, let us all know, because I'd be interested in calling that match 100%. Let's see. We got the final strategy card for this page, and this is the Monster of Ashinoko Lake. It reads, your turn. You may play all Biollante battle cards from your hand with their rank reduced by 3. And then, of course, once they hit the board, their ranks return to normal when in play. That's really, really strong. Wow. Getting to play, like, all your battle cards. So that means what? Oh, my God. I'm sorry I stutter, because, like, I just I just try to, like, think of plays, like, right on the fly when I record these. And I'm just like, dude, the potential is crazy. So literally, this also means straight up, if you're running high cost Biollante battle cards, so let's say you have one that's like a cost 7, well, now it's a 4. Now it's a 4, and you know, and the fact that this, look at it, it's 5. It's a rank 5 strategy card. This goes hand in hand with those first 2 ranked cards. Do you understand that early on in the game, you're able to play that? Because again, strategy cards are based on where you're at. So again, emphasis. You know what? Biollante might be a lot stronger than it seems, because you're able to potentially pose a lot of counters early on in the game. You know what I'm saying? You have either the rank 1 or the rank 2. They're already locked in zone 5. You play this. It's your turn. Let's say the rest of your hand, you have these really strong-ass Biollante cards. And if they're ranked 7 or ranked 6 or whatever, dude, that's insane. Even if you, like, let's say even for the benefit of the first turn, right? It's a first turn. So that means your opponent is at least going to be in 2. Because if they're not trying to move at all to allow you to play anything strong, all they have to be is at least in zone 2, especially if you're going second. So if you're going second, they're gonna be in zone 2 regardless. That means that you would at least have to take advantage of this by having Biollante cards that cost 5 or lower, so that way you could then play them right there, get that early push, and continue. That's crazy. That's just one potential move that would really be strong and would work out for this Biollante deck. Man, I'm kind of scared now. Yeah. Okay, and last but yeah, I know that's not you. I know. Listen, you're not that ugly. Oh wait, you're not ugly. You're not ugly. I'm sorry. Okay, and last for today's video, we have these 3 new red cards. 2 strategies, 1 new battle card. So the first one, this is a rank 4 strategy card, and say this name 10 times fast. There is no landing of a giant unknown creature. It says, move 1 battle card to an unoccupied zone. If your monster card invaded this turn, advance it by 1. Interesting. We have more advancing cards. Oh, that's actually pretty dangerous if you ask me. Because you could play... Wait. Let's see. If you play Godzilla attacks, which advances you to 6... and then you advance 1, then you could play this and then be an 8. I'm just always thinking of like ways to just like zoom, like speed run the whole board, right? So yeah, you technically could do that. I don't know if you would really want to do that, but you know, unless you really were confident you were about to win, then yeah, sure, go for it. Second card, Operation Taba. This is a rank 2 strategy card that reads, on your turn, if you have 4 or more battle cards in your zones, increase your overall counter power by 5,000. Not bad. This, I think, is, in a way, the red deck's version of, I think it's Godzilla versus Destroya strategy card, where it gives your overall counter power 10,000. Now, that one, I believe, I think it's a 3 cost, if I'm not mistaken. It should be, like, more than that, because that's broken. What? Plus 10,000 for no reason? Just cuz? I think you actually have to have a Destroyer on the field. I think that's the condition, if I'm remembering my card effects right. But at least for this one, all you have to do, it has to be on your turn. So yeah, if you have 4 or more battle cards in your zones, which I guess is also pretty conditional, but then again, like, it's not very hard to have battle cards for red decks either. Yeah, you get 5,000 more. So that's basically like, this is another Rage. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's giving the same amount of counter power as a Rage card would, you know? So, all right, pretty solid. And lastly, we have the Ministry Helicopter. This is a rank 6 battle card with 3,000 counter power that says, on an enter, discard 1 card from your deck, and if it is a monster card, advance your monster card to zone 6. Now, I will also add a little tidbit here. The rough translation literally just said, discard 1 card from your deck. So for those that heard that or that read that and are automatically thinking, does that just mean that you can just discard any random card from your deck? I don't think that's the case. I feel like the effect should read discard the top card from your deck, because that's always how discarding from your deck effects will always go. It's always the top card. So I'm very confident that that's what it's intending to mean. But yeah, if it's a monster card, advance your monster to zone 6. So this Ministry Helicopter I could see being a staple in reds if you're trying to get any sort of surprise victory. I'll put it that way. Because being that it is a 6 cost, that means that you're then able to move yourself up to position yourself maybe in a way to take out a battle card. And because it is because it's an advance and like you're not wherever you need to be. Like let's say you were in 4 for whatever reason, or if you were in 3, this is really strong because this gets you to 6 for free. And then then you still have your invasion for the turn to do. So a pretty good card, I would say. I would probably, and I could definitely see this being ran in a lot of red decks. It seems pretty staple enough to me. 3,000 counter power is weak, but its utility is probably what matters the most with this one specifically. All right, guys, and there you have it. So those are all of the cards for this week. We have, I want to say, 2 more of these videos to go. And really quick, I always forget to shout out Dueling Guard. They're one of the proud affiliate sponsors of your boy UchiGames over here. So this is the new solo leveling player series deck box. It's got magnet. Oh, the snap, right? And then it's got room for 2 decks. These come out if you want. I just wanted to show these off because I got to make sure that I'm doing my proper plugs. So again, link in the description for Dueling Guard if you want to save yourself 15% off, because yes, my link gives you 15% off. So take advantage of it. Use it up. There's a lot of really cool deck boxes, player mats, and all sorts of card game products. Check them out. And of course, when you do get anything, it does support the channel and helps me continue doing videos like this. So as far as what we have going on here for the timeline of Godzilla content, right now we have 1 more week before Japan finally gets set to in stores, okay? We still have to wait another month essentially. So that means that I will be doing 1 more video going over the weekend's cards and Monday's cards on Monday. And then that Friday next week, we'll have our last video going over the rest of the week's revealed cards, because then at that point, I would imagine all of the set 2 cards for Monsters Raid Again will be officially unveiled for the public, at least on the Japanese front. But that's where we come in, as always, with the rough translations and then the revisions and these videos going over what the cards do. So after that, I'm already kind of thinking ahead of what types of videos to continue doing to support this game. I already want to do a predictions tier list video where I will go over all the cards in a tier maker, and we will make predictions on what are the strongest cards out of the entire set, which are the weaker ones. We'll make our predictions, and then maybe a month or so after that, we'll come back around, and after some gameplay and after some tournament results, then we can go back to it and really see if we were right and what the actual strong and weak cards are. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. And then, of course, on top of that, I'll throw up some other gameplay matches. I definitely got to get some rounds in the Discord in, because I know some people have been trying to play me for a while and I just haven't had a chance. There's also the tabletop simulator way to play. And also, I guess I'll throw this in there, I do plan on making another newer updated edition of a comprehensive how to play this game, so that when set 2 officially drops for the English version, then people that may not have started playing this or are still kind of on the fence, they can see a newer, refreshed, updated version of the step-by-step how this game works, how it's played. And I want to make it as short as I possibly can. Not on a short, video, but a proper video. And then I guess depending on how that goes, I could make it into a short just to, really help spread awareness of this game. Because I really do want this game to essentially take off and not just be one of those 70th anniversaries. Okay, here it is. And after a couple sets, it's just done. Even though we do have confirmation that set 3 is coming out in January of 2026, nothing's ever guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So you can never be too careful, or you can never be too safe. But that's why, as long as we have a lot of like-minded folks, especially a lot of them already exist in that unofficial Discord that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, link in the description, we can possibly help keep the longevity of this game intact, right? So as always, guys, make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Check out the links in the descriptions of everything like I mentioned. Support the channel, support your boys, support this game. Take care of yourselves. Love what you love. Gang, gang.